Today I messed up by traveling to Thailand and getting sick. So I just came back from Thailand about a week ago and I have developed some pretty serious symptoms, including but not limited to red bumps and blisters around the old meat flute as well as discharge coming from my urethra. Additionally, I have also been having trouble going to the bathroom and have had a splitting headache for the past 3 days. I have a doctor's appointment scheduled for tomorrow morning, so I guess I just have to tough it up until then. While I'm not totally sure how I got sick, I do have some good ideas. I took my proper vaccinations before the trip, but I did skimp out on one of them because I just couldn't make it in time before my scheduled flight. Additionally, I also went swimming in a river which could have gave me some sort of infection. Regardless, I'm just really regretting a lot of my life decisions right now, lol, especially since I can't work or do anything productive really. Today I messed up by having the cops called on me for feeling lonely and crying. I've been having a tough year. My father passed away, I have a host of medical issues, laid off 7 months ago and can't even get any interviews as I work in tech sales, which is a bloodbath right now. My girlfriend recently broke up with me, and I've been feeling very lonely the past few months. I live in the downtown area in my city, and right across where I live is a condo that is notorious for having loud and crazy parties. I've seen some wild things. This Saturday, while feeling particularly lonely, I was trying to keep myself occupied before feeling tired by cleaning my place. I could hear people laughing and yelling. I wished I could be around others, drinking, laughing, and for one night forgetting about everything I was going through. When I was done cleaning, I showered and went out on the balcony to have a drink before going to bed. I noticed that the laughing and yelling was coming from a unit directly across from me. It was a small group. They weren't doing anything crazy. Just sitting around, drinking, and enjoying their time. While there's at least a few parties every weekend at this condo, something hit me hard about this. I started tearing up while on the balcony and crying. I had no clue how loud I was crying. This was around 11 p.m. I wasn't able to sleep and was in bed reading. Just before 1 a.m. I heard a knock at my door. It freaked me out. Who the hell would be knocking at my door at this time? They knocked again. I went out and couldn't see anyone through the peephole. I asked who was there and heard a voice say, "City I live in, please." I almost felt calm because I knew I hadn't done anything. Maybe they were at the wrong door. I opened the door and they asked if everything was okay and if they could come in. They also had 2 EMS people with them. Confused, I said sure. We sat in my living room and they told me someone in the building had heard crying and called them to check up on me to make sure I was okay. After asking a bunch of questions, like I had taken any drugs or alcohol, they wanted to know what was going on. I told them, and while doing so I was teary-eyed again. They told EMS that they could leave and the cops stayed around for a bit more. These 2 cops, who were probably younger than I am, were incredibly kind. For a good half hour we just talked. One said he was part of a flag football team that I should check out. Eventually they left. The day after, while taking out the garbage, I ran into 2 of my neighbors. We usually do the obligatory "Hey, how are things?" and this time they both avoided me like the plague. I live in a small building where everyone knows each other, and since this incident everyone just completely ignores me, which is not usual at all. This Thursday I got a letter outside my door from management telling me how I need to be mindful of my neighbors. Today I messed up, spending time with someone I spent 10 years getting over. 10 years ago, I was falling for someone other than my partner. I kept it to myself and did not act upon it. Leagues aside, I knew fine well it'd never happen. I allowed myself to drift away from that group of friends and from this person. It was for the best. I was over it. I doubt I've ever been the remotest hit on their radar. Honestly, I have no trouble accepting that. This evening I spent time with that person in mixed company, and all the old feelings were resurrected almost instantly. I was shaking as soon as I saw them. It'll never happen, I'm okay with that. But FFS and bastard years have gone by. We reminisced, talked, sang together although no time had passed by at all. I am 100% certain this person is not aware of how I feel, not do they feel the same way. That is absolutely fine, I expect nothing more. I can't do anything about it, I'm nearly 40 and have an acceptable existence. I wouldn't say I'm happy, but it's comfortable. No children involved. This person is like my kryptonite. If I posted this in Ida, I know the answer already. Just, damn, fucking assholes. I'm not into cheating. If they had asked me to see them home I'd have been honorable and no more. It's absolutely unreciprocated, and again, that's fine. Today I messed up by being honest about how I'm feeling. My wife has been off with me all day. Apparently because I've been moody. Personally, yeah, I'm a bit frustrated but nothing overly bad. She likes to tell me I'm in a bad mood when I'm like this, which is always helpful, but whatever. Our youngest kid is 1 year old, full of snot, always has a cold thanks to childcare. But a happy little guy generally, but also in that stage between 1 and 2 naps during the day. Parents all know what I mean. So today, he's been a bit grisly and it was a bit frustrating not being able to really enjoy our weekends together. But that's just life with kids. Still frustrating. Every time I talk it seems to her that I'm having a go at her or criticizing. I'm not, but she either A, doesn't believe me, B, doesn't listen to me. I have told her in many occasions that I'm sorry if I'm talking like I am and I will try not to say anything or to say things in a more upbeat tone at least. I honestly don't think I sound any different, but maybe I do, Matt shrugging. She still doesn't believe me. Anyway, she's been kinda yelling at me a lot more for the last 1.5 years now, so halfway through pregnancy, I accepted it as hormonal and whatever, no worries. But that also made me not really want to sleep with her too, as it's kinda unattractive and belittling being yelled at, so we haven't really been having sex much in the time either. Plus our older kid tends to find her way into our bed at some point in the night too. Anyway, the foo came today when she's told me how much I've been awful today and all that, and she said that we don't have sex anymore, and I mentioned that her yelling isn't very attractive and I don't want to sleep with someone I'm not attracted to. Mind you, I do find her physically attractive, but she doesn't make me feel very sexy with the way she yells at me. Doors slammed, yelling intensifies, tears, divorce being screamed about, things thrown, told that if she had somewhere to go she would leave and never see me again, ruining her life, etc. So now I'm sleeping in the spare room. Not sure why me trying to be honest with her meant I had to leave, but there we go. Was happy to share the bed still. We're early mid-40s. Been together over 20 years. 2 young kids. And it might be all falling apart. Today I messed up by trying to swaffle my wife in the shower. Yesterday I learned about swaffelen, a Dutch term meaning to hit one soft or semi-hard penis, often repeatedly, against an object or another person's body. This struck me as amusing, and my wife has a nice round butt. So, today, when we hopped in the shower, I asked if I could swaffle her ass. I explained what it meant and she, being patient and with a good sense of humor herself, said okay, as long as she could try to hit me with her boobs. I readily agreed. Having never swaffled anyone before, I really wound up my hips and gave my dong a good swing. At which point I slipped and fell on my ass. I'm typing this from the ER, where I'm waiting to get an x-ray to see if my coccyx is broken. Never got to slap my put against that fine rump, or get slapped in the face by some titties.